Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield. Thanks for joining us for another Broadfield Liquid Lunch and Learn every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You will see we are being joined in studio today with a special guest live and in person, Cameron Boyce from BirdDog. Hey, Cameron.
How's it going?
Doing excellent, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Glad to be down here in the office.
It's great to have you. Cameron, you're out of Connecticut, right?
Yes, just about 2 hours north, so not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Obviously, from the New England area, we have lots of great beers to choose from. We're going to kick off today's show with a sour ale from Fat Orange Cat. This is You Had Me at Meow.
Very local to me.
It is a pineapple strawberry ale. Cheers.
Well, delicious.
It is pineapple and strawberry for sure. It tastes like you're drinking fruit punch. Very good stuff.
No complaints.
So the star of the show today is not you, unfortunately.
I know.
It is the brand new BirdDog X5 Ultra camera. We have these cameras in stock and available now at Broadfield, both here in New York and in California. And I invited Cameron onto the show to introduce the camera a little bit and to show you about some of the cool stuff that it does. Before we go into that, our dealers who don't know you or what you do with BirdDog, why don't you give a little bit of an introduction?
Yeah, so my name's Cameron. I'm our North American sales engineer. So I'm here to help with any of that technical help, the questions you have on the pre-sale side. So making sure we get the right camera for you, converters, all of that information. I'm ready to help. I always have my calendar wide open, my phone, so always easy to reach and always happy to assist with any BirdDog questions.
Cameron is always a valuable resource for the Broadfield team. So if you're working with your Broadfield sales rep, if they can help you, it will get Glenn and Logan involved. But then we also know that we have Cameron and the rest of the team at BirdDog here in the U.S. available to help answer any questions and to make sure that we put the right camera into your next project. And that right camera might be the brand new flagship camera from BirdDog, which is the X5 Ultra.
That's
a
right.
Really exciting model.
Oh, we're really excited. We announced it last week, and we've just been super excited to get this thing out there in the world and show off what it's capable of.
Absolutely. This is a 4K 60p camera.
Yes.
What are some of those highlighted features?
Yeah, so we're bringing a lot more versatility out the back of this camera with 12G SDI, built-in decoders, e-ink displays, tally light. We're really trying to make this as easy to use and as friendly to the end user as possible.
And it is, like I said, the flagship and the third model in the next generation of BirdDog, where it joins the X1 and the X1 Ultra in this exciting new product line, but now gives you that higher end spec that we're going to go into a little bit more now. And first of all, like you would expect from BirdDog, it does have the certification and support for NDI.
Absolutely. This camera is NDI HX3 certified, but unlike a lot of cameras and, like the X1, this camera is NDI HX3 certified at every single resolution it offers. This is not just at, 1080/30. This is every single 1080 resolution, every single 4K, 4K 60, 4K 30. It's certified all the way top to bottom, so you know the performance you're getting at every single option we offer here.
And I think that's important to recognize. It's one of those things that BirdDog has established their company on, is making sure that they are the NDI experts and that they're going to give you that full NDI certification and support all the way through. One of the things that I'm most excited about this camera is it is also the first BirdDog camera that is fully TAA compliant.
Yes, it is. TAA compliancy was something we were really, really pressed on making sure this camera followed, and it opens us up to a whole variety of different projects now. It's really a good fit for pretty much any kind of installation. There's nothing limiting it like there has been before.
Absolutely. Cameron, one of the things we did at Broadfield about a month ago was we introduced a TAA filter on our website where you can look at all the products and filter those that have the TAA compliant stamp, which is very helpful for our resellers that are selling into government especially.
Absolutely. We're glad that the BirdDog X5 Ultra will be in that list now.
I think it'll be top of the page. It is a great camera with a great specification. And part of those specs are the connectivity.
Yes.
You really fit everything on there.
Yeah, we really made sure that you had all the options you would ever want for production out the back of this camera. Something that you see on the X1 was, a lack of SDI. Not only did we bring SDI to this camera, we made it 12G SDI, so you're getting the highest possible performance out of the back. You're also getting HDMI as usual, this time with 2 separate ports. USB-C if you want to use this as a webcam, and then your classic RS-232 and PoE ports as well. So really trying to make this work for every use case. And like BirdDog's always done, those are all open simultaneously. You're not limited to one or the other.
And what I love is when you look at the next generation of cameras that's available, the X1 and the X1 Ultra are obviously your price leaders.
Yes.
BirdDog hit a price point, got these cameras onto market, and they're re-cementing their market share in the industry.
Correct.
The X5 Ultra comes in now addressing that higher end flagship model, replacing the P240 that was very popular, the P4K, and really looking into that higher end production where 12G SDI is going to be important. NDI HX3 with that 4K 60p is going to be
absolutely
important. So you have all that connectivity and more. It also includes the NDI HX decoder right on board too.
Yeah, one of our favorite features we've introduced with the X line is that built-in HX decoder. You know, it adds that ability to have a confidence monitor, a return feed, something like that out the back of the camera while still having your camera functioning as you'd like. What's great about the X5 is, you know, it has those 2 HDMI ports out the back, so you're not limiting yourself if you use this decoder. You also have your classic HDMI out simultaneously. So it's just a true added feature that's really, really convenient for our end users.
Absolutely. You talked about the confidence monitor.
Yeah.
It's also great for a teleprompter use.
Absolutely.
Or even in a house of worship to feed iMac.
Oh,
or
fantastic.
anything from there. So it gives you that flexibility of being able to recommend and install that camera into all of those different workflows. And then, of course, the thing I love about all of the next generation of BirdDog cameras is that tally light that you're incorporating on right on the front of the lens there.
Yeah, Halo Tally. We love the design on this new generation of cameras. We think it's got that bright, catches your eye, which is what Tally's supposed to do. It's very clear when this camera's live, when this camera's on standby, but you're not limited to have that on all the time. You know, not every production calls for a tally light. Sometimes it can be distracting in certain situations. So in the user interface, that is completely customizable. You can have that light turned on, turned off, whatever suits your production best.
And what I love about it too is if you're selling into like the podcaster space or the content creators, they're used and to looking into those ring lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like now it's drawing your attention right onto the camera. You know what camera's live and you know what's picking up the feed as you're starting to do the production.
Yeah.
And then a unique feature on all these BirdDog cameras is that e-ink display as well.
Absolutely. E-ink was one of our favorite things we brought to these new generation. Like I said, not every situation calls for that glowing green, you know, tally light. And now you don't have that glowing OLED screen on the front either. You have all that information brought to you by a screen that is not backlit. You get your IP address, you get your frame rate, all of that important information. And the best part is when this camera's powered off, you no longer lose that information. So from an installation standpoint, it's just made things so much easier. And then also you have that QR code on the side, which if you have a device on the same network, that's going to bring you straight to the user interface, just allowing, again, that easier step to customizing and getting your camera working how you want.
Absolutely. And I think the important thing to note about the e-ink display is this is one of those features that came from user and installer feedback.
Absolutely.
Installers said, I need something to be able to bring multiple cameras out into a production, into a house of worship, and install them quickly and get access to all the information I need. That is now being done right there on the side of the camera itself. And then the ability to install filter rings.
Yes. So standing by that, you know, this is for that next level of production quality. We've introduced filter rings on the front of this. So whether that's ND filters, polarizers, whatever you need on the front, UV, this will allow you to use those on this camera as well. So really bringing up that production quality better than we've ever been able to.
Absolutely. It's going to open the door for a lot more installation use case scenarios where you do need that kind of a unique feature on a PTZ camera especially. And the AI auto tracking is included now across the entire line of BirdDog X series cameras, right?
Yes, it's all of our X cameras have built-in AI tracking, and it's built into the camera now, which has been a huge improvement in terms of reliability, in terms of functionality and consistency. And one of the greatest things about having this inside of our cameras and not through software is that it's upgradable through firmware. So these cameras are constantly getting smarter. constantly getting more advanced and constantly adding features to that tracking.
Absolutely. And when you're talking about the upgradability, that's done now through the BirdDog user interface, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. The user interface is kind of the home for these cameras, and we try to make this as friendly for the user as possible and as easy to navigate. So you have your classic side menu with all your information, and in your systems bar is where I think the biggest change for these cameras has happened, and that's going to be through firmware updates. Firmware in the past was a two-step process with a USB, and it was, a lot of work to get these updated. And now with our new X line, it's all through a single click of a button. You go to that systems page, upload your firmware. We give you a full progress bar and just a quick reset when you're done, and you're ready to go.
So the great thing for our dealers to know is the easier that firmware update is going to be to manage, the more of your users are going to be able to do that themselves out in the field, or the less time you're going to need to roll out your tech crew to keep these cameras up to date. So now as new features are released, when the e-ink display is upgraded where they can put on custom logos, those firmware updates will happen easily through the BirdDog UI. So the more we can make that process easier for the end user or for your technical team, the easier it's going to be to recommend these cameras in your installs. And of course, they are all backed by BirdDog's 5-year warranty.
Yes, they are. We want to, make sure these cameras are exactly what you want and that they stay functioning as we expect them to. So we really want to make sure the end user feels safe and secure in buying these new cameras.
Absolutely. And again, BirdDog has a full sales support team here in the U.S., technical support, customer support, warranty repair, all located here in the U.S. So even as an Australian company, you do have a full network of resources, including Cameron himself, available right here in Connecticut.
Just a phone call away.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of these cameras are available here at Broadfield. The X5 Ultra is, like I said, in stock in both New York and California, and really helps bring that next generation of BirdDog cameras into that flagship production quality line. So this is is going to sit alongside the product catalog with the BirdDog X1 and the X1 Ultra, which wasn't launched that long ago either.
No, that was back in April, and we've seen a lot of great success with that out in the market. People really finding that this works in all different kinds of situations. That Wi-Fi capabilities helped with sporting events, with house of worship, all different types of situations where, sometimes cable isn't something you can run. Yep. And then in that small body as well, it's just been super, super easy to install and been a great success for us.
Absolutely. So the X1 is your HD camera with that Wi-Fi capability. The X1 Ultra gives you 4K 30p. And now they're being joined in that product lineup by the X5 Ultra, which gives you that 4K P60 capability with 12G SDI. So again, you have two very affordable cost leaders into that NDI production space with HDMI and USB capability. And then you have the X5 Ultra coming in, adding that 12G SDI and 4K P60 over NDI as well. A full complement across the next generation of BirdDog cameras available here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited about the X series, and we're happy to introduce the X5 to the family.
And I think there are going to be more cameras coming along throughout this product lineup. Nothing that we're ready to talk about today. Cameron, I'm not even going to ask you to speak to that. Go have a sip. Before we get Cameron in trouble, stay tuned. Reach out to your Broadfield sales rep. As new cameras, new models, new features and capabilities are introduced, we will work closely with BirdDog to get you all of that information. You can reach out to your Broadfield sales team today at 800-634-5178 to get updated price sheets, inventory levels, and to place your orders for the X1, X1 Ultra, or brand new X5 Ultra. Stay tuned for more information on the upcoming weeks, and be sure to check out BirdDog at the IBC show if you're going to be heading to that show. See these cameras live and in action. Cameron, are you heading out to Amsterdam?
I wish I was lucky enough. They're keeping me on U.S. soil for now.
I am going to stay on U.S. soil as well. I am sure that's a much easier trip for the BirdDog Australia team to be supporting that show. So definitely go find them at IBC. Cameron, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Until next week, cheers.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers. So call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.